Hey there, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up Universal Analytics, which is the previous version of Google Analytics. Right now, the new one that's out is Google Analytics 4. So I'll go ahead and get started to show you that. First, you'll go to analytics.google and you'd click Create Account. And you're going to want to create this account name. So I'm going to do this as Test2. You can decide if you want to check these boxes. I recommend checking the benchmarking box. That way you will share your data anonymously, but you'll be able to see other anonymous data and compare your site to others. Then we'll click Next, property name, and pick our time code, time zone. There we go. All right, but we have to click Show Advanced Options. If you don't click this, you would be creating Google Analytics 4. So we want to create a Universal Analytics property. So we want to check this box. And then for the website address, we want to go to the homepage and see what the actual URL of the homepage is. So that's https coolestcrap.com. So https coolestcrap.com. All right, now you have the option to create both Google Analytics 4 and Universal Analytics. Honestly, right now, I recommend doing both. Google Analytics 4 just has a long way to go and has some improvements to be made. It's not, ready yet, in my opinion. So I am still using Universal Analytics. So because I've already created Google Analytics 4 in another video, I'm going to check this box to create a Universal Analytics property only. But otherwise, I would recommend doing both. And keep the box checked to enable enhanced measurement. All right, so for this video, we'll go ahead and just do Universal Analytics only, click Next, and then this is just some general information where you can, just fill that out to your liking. And then we need to accept these terms, so make sure that you do indeed accept them before moving forward. And then it's going to take us to a tracking code screen. So this is the tracking code itself that we need to add to the website. So what this is telling us is as copy and paste this code as the first item into the head of every page you want to track. So in WordPress, it's generally pretty easy to do that. Instead of copying and pasting this code to every single page manually, there's a spot in WordPress where you can just paste it and it will be inserted into every page automatically for you. So typically, the first place you would want to go do this would be the theme settings. If this theme already has this setting available, then you don't have to install a plug, you don't have to alter code. It's the best way to do it in my opinion. So that could be under Appearance Customize, or it could be under something else. Maybe the theme name is listed here and it would say settings underneath it. So what I'll do is I'll show you an example. So we'll go through these settings here for the theme, and I don't see anything that looks like, editing head scripts, excuse me. So header, when we click on that, this is about the actual view of the header here, right? So that's not what we're looking for. The footer is actually like how many columns the footer has. That's not what we're looking for. So this theme does not have the settings we're looking for. Let me show you on my site what actually it would look like. So if you went to Customize under Appearance, you'd get this tab with my theme because it has them built in. So you see how it says Theme Settings, click that. And then down here I have header footer scripts. So this is what I'd be looking for in the theme if it had those settings. And this would be, it says this code's output immediately before the closing head tag in the document. So it's not as high up in the head as we want, but it's where we would put it. So we basically would copy this code right here, and we would paste it here at the very top of all other codes if there's anything in here. Then we click Save, and that would be it. But this site does not have that option. So the next step would be to use a plugin. So what we'll do is go to Add New and search for header footer. All right, and this is the one we're looking for, head, footer, and post injections. So I'm going to install that. That's my favorite one. I also like header, footer, code manager, but this is usually the one I use. So I'll click activate. And then now we have the plugin activated and ready to go. So to access the settings, we need to hover on the settings tab, and now we'll see header and footer. This wasn't here before. So we'll click that, and this is loading all of the settings here. So we can paste a code in this section, and then it will automatically show up on the site wherever these notes tell us, right? So this is the head page, and it's on every page is where this code would be added. So that's what we're looking for. We want it on the head of every page. So let's copy this code, and then we'll paste it here and click save. There are more options if you're using Tag Manager or other codes you want to add, but to keep this simple, we're just going to leave it at that. So then we can go to the home page, and there is a plugin I have called, Then we'll go to the home page, and there's a tool called Google Tag Assistant that you can use to see what codes are on the site. So we can see that that tracking code is showing up just like we added it. So that's good. So now we want to test to make sure that the traffic is being picked up. So what we'd do is we'd click on real time after this. Real time, let's say content. This is what I usually use. And it's showing right now there's one active user, and it shows what page they're on. It doesn't include the .com, it just includes anything to the right of .com. So if you notice, just a slash by itself would be just the home page, and it shows the page title. So you can see it says one user's on the home page. Now that would be me. So if you have multiple users for some reason visiting the site, you could go to a specific page that you think most people are not going to be on, and then you can watch for it to load here. So it automatically updated to surveillance once we went to that page, so I know that it's working. So now we know Google Analytics, Universal Analytics is tracking, and that's exactly what we wanted. One more note I wanted to share with you about adding tracking codes to the site. There's a third and final option which I do not recommend. You can go to Appearance and Theme Editor. This allows you to edit directly the actual website theme files, the code. Like I said, I don't recommend it because you can break things super easy in here. And if you make any changes to these files and the theme releases an update, when you update the theme, all of your changes will be wiped out here. So that's definitely a really good reason not to put it here. But if you notice the header.php file, at the very top here it says head, and then it has a closing head tag there. This is where you could add analytics, hypothetically, if you needed this to show up on every page in the head section. But like I said, I would never use that because it could be wiped out by a theme update. But hopefully you have learned how to install Google Analytics and make sure it's tracking.